You really don't have an understanding of what happened that day until you visit the memorial. I first moved here back in 2012, and at the time the 9/11 memorial wasn't built yet. I think that they were near completion of it. And so shortly after, they did a soft opening.
I visited the 9/11 memorial and the museum the day that the museum was open to the public back in May of 22nd of 2014. I was there with my dad visiting New York City, visiting some friends, and we decided to go to the museum. First thing that jumped in my mind when we got there was, I felt anger because I realized how real this was.
Actually being at the site where it happened, you can't describe those feelings. It really solidified for me that there were several lives lost. And just seeing the names ingrained in the footprints of the tower just made it so much more surreal.
As a kid growing up watching it unfold on television, you didn't really understand the full magnitude of it. Once you were there at Ground Zero, saw the memorial, went through the museum, you saw the full magnitude of it and all the thousands of Americans, innocent Americans, who lost their lives on that day during that attack. I felt anger, for the families who were affected, had their lives turned upside down that day when they lost a loved one.
Go a little bit left towards, I forgot which tower it is, they have these kiosks where you're able to actually look up people who died on that tragic day and see their faces and see, where they worked and where they were during that time. And so walking through the memorial and hearing people who said oh, that's my father, or oh, that was, my uncle, or oh, that was my brother who passed away, and I come here and honor him, at least once a year. You can't put that into words. This really is going to have a lasting effect for several generations.
I think that it's very important for every American to see that if they're ever in New York City, to go see the memorial and even go through the museum, because it really details what happened on that day leading up to the attacks, and then throughout the day, and then the recovery process, which went on for months and months.
Seeing actual artifacts from the World Trade Center such as beams and a fire truck, that made it so much more surreal for me. I remember being in that museum and just bawling.
But it is a very emotional topic for people there, and it's emotional when you go, because you realize many innocent Americans lost their lives on that day. They went to work and didn't realize that would be their last day on this earth. And even all the first responders who gave their life trying to help save people. It was a horrible day, but it's also important to remember it because of how it impacted so many Americans' lives, their families, and really our country.
I live in New York City, blocks away from Ground Zero, and you can just feel it in the air when you're riding the subway system on the anniversary every year of just there's just this calm that comes over New York, and there's just this, it's almost like a reflection of, this is what happened in the past. We're honoring this day, this moment for what it is, and we're going to be okay.